Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to firstly introduce myself. My name is Sarmad Latif, a senior researcher specialist in water and climatic security using artificial intelligence techniques, including machine learning and deep learning. Today, I'm pleased to give a speech here in this conference. And first of all, I would like to warmly thank Dr. Hussein Ellen, the chairperson for Chamber of Geological Engineers in Turkey, Mr. Dr. Özgür Hakten, the head of the Chamber of Geological Engineers in Diyarbakir, and Dr. Shafiq Imam Oğlu for their efforts for organizing and inviting us to give a speech in this great conference about two important topics, geothermal energy and spring water. For the current global environmental situation, geothermal energy is crucial as it provides a sustainable, reliable, and low-carbon source instead of fossil fuel, exactly. So, offering a consistent source of renewable energy which can mitigate climate change, reduce the dependency on external energy sources, and supports the global efforts towards energy security and environmental sustainability. When it comes to spring water, it can sometimes originate by thermal activities, where the underground heat warms and mineralizes the water until it reaches the surface. So, thermal spring is a natural spring when the water is warmer than the temperature of a specific region. So what feels hot or warm in a region may not feel same in another. For example, I just came from Süleymani. The climate condition in our city is quite similar to Diyarbakir. But if you compare it with, let's say, a city of Basra, I just checked today, it's like 14 degrees Celsius differences. So what feels warm here may not feel warm there. So we have two main types of thermal spring, warm spring and hot spring. And for the thermal spring to exist, several factors need to work together. The heat source is the heat deep inside the earth, the storage reservoirs, the rocks or the spaces that let the water to flow through it and warm up. A recharge source could be rain, could be any surface water that will be infiltrated to the ground and recharge it. And we have discharge point, a way for the warm water to come up to the surface. Regarding the mineral springs found in Kurdistan Region of Iraq, based on some studies, it's found in mountains, in valleys. For example, Hamam Jalil, Halabja, and Dukan. Water often warm, rich in minerals. For example, it's rich in calcium, in magnesium, in sulfur, and even in salt. And it could be used for various purposes. It could be used for health, for tourism, and even for water bottling. Springs are a part of our nature, natural beauty, and it's a part of our culture. So we must all protect it. There must be a collaboration among communities and authority. And there are various risks. For example, the contamination, overusing it. When we overuse and over-extract, let's say, spring water, we may lose it as a result of this overusing. That's why strong monitoring system is very important and crucial. Here, based on this chart, there are some mineral springs found in Dukan and Süleymani. And mineral springs in Kurdistan comes from flat-structured rocks like limestone or sandstone. And water carries some minerals like calcium, bicarbonates, or magnesium, and it supports the health, and it could be useful also for the tourism purposes. So there are some recommendations when it comes to the study of mineral springs or natural spring in our region. For example, it's recommended for all mineral springs to be mapped with water chemistry and flow data, because we need to test the quality of water based on some chemical and physical parameters. And some hydrological studies should be conducted to check the depth, the capacity, and the rate of recharge of the aquifers. And springs should be protected from waste, sewage, and overusing it, as it promotes the health tourism. But of course, when we recommend investing in this vital sector, a point needs to be taken into consideration, which is the local need. After the local needs are met, then we can go for investment processes. And in this way, mineral spring can support both clean energy and sustainable economic growth of the country. So I just shortly discuss and about 2 studies have been conducted in Duhok city in Kurdistan region of Iraq. The first one was to assess the water quality using water quality index. Okay, so based on this study, the authors have tested spring water in 10 villages around Duhok. This study was conducted at 2018, means 7 years ago, and they have collected samples in 2 different seasons, dry and wet, summer and winter. So based on their result, these 10 villages, 8 of them, the quality of the spring water was very high. Without any treatment process, it can be used for drinking. Drinking needs the highest quality standard because it directly impacts the human health. But only 2 of them, side number 6 and 8 was poor, but also it was not very poor. It needs some very simple treatment to be used for drinking purpose. This is another study. The aim and objective of this study is different. In this study, various statistical models have been used to assess spring potential mapping in a multi-aquifer system. This is also conducted in Duhok. In this study, 450 springs as data has been used, and 15 influencing factors has been taken into consideration. For example, the land use, the slope of the land, the rainfall, fault, and some other factors. In this study, 4 different statistical models have been applied, namely logistic regression, frequency ratio, Shannon entropy, and weight of evidence. And based on the result, the logistic regression and weight of evidence models gave the most accurate result and outperformed the other proposed models to map the spring potential in Duhok. So this result helps the companies to immediately start investment process without, again, checking and conducting another, let's say, research which might be costly and take long period of time. Here's the map. And this is when the authors conducted this study, they have also take the external data into consideration. For example, topography-related factors, geological-related factors, hydrological-related factors, and the land cover. So based on these studies, there are some recommendations. As I explained for you, most springs found in Duhok was very useful, and the quality of the water in those springs was very high. Without any treatment, it could be used for drinking. But of course, there are some sites that need some very simple treatment, which will not be costly for investment processes. And scientific maps shown the best places for the new spring with low risk and high potential. So no more studies might be needed, or maybe very less studies. So because we already have the conducted studies in this sector, and there is a good chance for bottled water industry and tourism. And if investment process starts between, let's say, Turkey and Iraq, it will be so helpful for the economic growth of both countries. If we focus on Kurdistan region, it will create a lot of job opportunities for young graduates, and of course the pressure on the authority will be completely decreased. And here I will conclude my speech. Thank you so much for your kind attention. I hope this workshop improve our scientific collaboration, and open a way for the shared solution in geothermal and water resources. So it will be very useful and for the benefit of both countries and both regions. Thank you. Thank you.
Can you
Sorry.
your certificates?
Yes.
Your both name.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.